Okay, hello all you crazy people out there. My name is Michael. I like wizards, dragons, making games, and tower defense. Maybe a little bit more than is actually good for me. And welcome back to the tower defense. So we are working on a game. We're working on making a tower defense game in Game Maker Studio 2. If you let me just set some things up, we can give it a play and see how it looks. Last week, I spent quite a bit of time working on game balance, or at least what I think is something sort of resembling game balance. This week I'm going to be taking a step back from that, doing a little bit less math and doing a little bit of what I consider some quality of life. That is going to be things like cleaning up this UI in the upper left, making it look a little bit more like this. I'm going to put a wave counter in the corner, and probably also a start next wave button so that you don't have to hit the spacebar. You can actually click a nice button to do that, and some other things. So let's do that by doing something similar to the to the room editor that I've been doing for the other pieces of UI, and that is going to be I should be able to. All I have to do is actually create myself an instance layer. Let's rename this to UI underscore persistent, or should I put it in UI underscore game? This is the tower building screen. This is what disappears when you click on a tower and view its stats and stuff. Do I want to make that happen when do I want to make that happen to like the wave counter and that sort of thing when you click on a tower? Probably not. I'll just do this separately. So this is going to be UI game overlay, and let's see, graphical stuff. User interface stuff. Block raycast is sort of, that's the sprite. Block raycast is sort of the just the object that I use for when it comes to making the grid smaller. When it comes to the background of this UI, just so that the buttons aren't sort of floating in space. Let's see. I think you need to be over one more, right? Right? Wrong? What is the size of this room? The size of this room is something a little odd. There we go. So this is the correct width. And an 8x8 grid is a very low resolution that makes it hard to actually see. I don't know how I came up with that width. I don't know why I made it something like that. But anyway, we can drag that down. We can drag a text onto it. The text is just going to be a label. This is probably going to be the wave counter or something like that. We're going to start with this. How is the tower select text handled? This is going to be creation code. Get text is the function I'm looking for. Okay, good to know. It's been a little while since I've messed with this. And creation code get text is going to be what is it? It is somewhere in game. It is, I believe, like current wave or something. All waves, wave active, wave countdown, waves remain. What's the current wave? Do I really not have something like that? Okay, well, I'll start with the wave countdown just to get something on the screen. Text is going to equal game.this cast a string. That might be a little long. That might be a little bit much text. That might flow out of the text box, but it is not appearing, and I feel like it should be by default. Do I have to enable it in code specially? I thought I just set it up so that it was automatic. Do I have to draw each layer specifically down here? Active GUI layer. Okay. Okay, yes, I am drawing the specific layer. That is how I get the tower building UI versus the tower upgrade UI versus the other stuff. Okay, so let me just return, make a nice function that's just a bit of a wrapper for this, and this is just going to make it so that I don't have to do as much typing. There are fewer chances to screw up the code to make typos. Let's see. Instead of, like right now, we can say get GUI layer UI underscore game underscore overlay, and we can just say, I feel like I should probably write myself a function so that I can just draw a layer like this without having to do this song and dance, but okay, so we're just gonna iterate over that thing. I'll do that later. First, I want to see. I've been doing this. I've been rolling for 6 minutes in this episode, and I still haven't actually run the game with any changes yet. I just want to see that it's there, and it is not there. In fact, do I not have a block raycast? I should. That should be automatic, right? I was doing that automatically. This is a very, very, very long file of code. We can collapse the update method. I don't need that now. We can collapse get under cursor because I don't need that. Get raycast blocked. I should probably account for the other UI layers there too, shouldn't I? Am I spelling it wrong? It is doing what I thought it was doing. Save map, load map, not important. Render main, not important. I feel like that should be getting the thing. Like this. Let's see if it's just undefined or not. No, it's definitely, you know what? Okay. I was assuming block raycast was the null value, but it's actually this because UI underscore layer has not been yet defined because that is the other variable. Okay. Error messages. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Let's run this, and on the third try, I'd really like it to actually be there, yeah. Alright, so this is obviously huge. I will probably make this UI much smaller than this, but it's there, and it's working. Let me make a commit. Added a bit of UI on the top left of the screen. I made the one comment a couple videos ago about how I usually like edited out me making the commit messages, even though they weren't that long. And then right after that, I wasn't even thinking about it. I just sort of stopped doing that because I'm like talking through them and narrating what I type and stuff, and it's weird. Let's see, what else is down there? I have player money and player health. I will make text labels for player money and player health. Actually, you know what? I will make one big text layer for this. And it's going to game dot player money. It's just going to be broken up over multiple lines like this. Player money is a little redundant. It's not like there's other money in this game. Like this. Okay, so this should be a text label with a little more on it. I don't know how the text is going to be aligned, but I'm pretty sure it's centered in the middle of the text field. But yeah, that's what I want. And the other thing is a send and wave button. And also, I guess, a speed up button. I mentioned speed up last time. I can do speed up. Let's drag this in here. Send and next wave. These objects, these button objects also have a get text, right? Okay, so they have a built-in variable, which is the name. It kind of makes sense that they would have a get text too. I might change it to that. But first, we can create the label and then the on-click. The on-click should just be what happens when you VK space. It should just be game.sendInWave. Like this. And this should just be a graphical user interface way of doing the exact same things that I was doing with the spacebar. Alright, so next wave in 26 seconds, 25, 24. I don't have any towers built or anything. I should probably do that. Are you actually firing at anything? You are not actually firing at anything. Why are you not firing at anything? That's weird. Oh, it is. It's just they're very close by, so it's hard to see the bullets. Negative 0.02 seconds to the next wave. That's unusual. If I send it... Okay, so there's something wrong with this text up there. Let me make a commit for the send in wave button. And let me figure out why this isn't doing what I want it to. The text... Is wave countdown not the variable that's actually used? Is that like... What actually happens? Where is this invoked? When you hit the spacebar, when... Yeah. Wave countdown seems to be it. Shouldn't this code be running in send in wave? Is there a reason I didn't put it there? There are no comments whatsoever in this code, which is not helping me out at all, and I really should write comments in my code, but, like... This is updating the wave. I feel like this should be a method of wave to have itself update. Where's, waves? It is. This is very weird. I feel like this is split between two places. I don't know why I designed it that way. WaveActive.update. If not, WaveActive.finished. Oh, this isn't actually updating the wave. This is just checking to see if you should remove it from the list. Okay. Regardless, if I were to... This is when it comes in automatically. This is when it comes in manually. If I were to move this from... Oh no, I know why I did this. If I were to have the wave countdown reset instantly when it was sent in, the countdown would start when the first enemy comes in, and if there are still enemies coming in when the countdown expires, then you would have two waves coming in at once, even if you don't actually summon two waves at once. And when this is instead initiating the next countdown if only when the last enemy has been sent in. So only when the last enemy of any active wave, I should say, has been sent in. So if you send in like 3 at once and they all finish at different times, the countdown will start after the final wave has finished. So that's working as intended. Actually, I shouldn't touch that. Instead, I will go back to the get text here and say, if this is greater than 0, else we're going to have our wave time is going to be the countdown, otherwise it's just going to be a dash, a null value of sorts. And then once it's ready. Oh, you know what I can also do though, and I should probably also do is floor this value. Right now it's counting centiseconds, which isn't which is a little bit much. It's a little distracting. I think I'd rather just have it in integer seconds. Yep, there it goes. There's a countdown. If I were to build some stuff, hopefully I would be able to take care of that wave. I can send in the first one because I'm not really waiting for anything to finish. And I want to send it in now, but I also want to wait for the next one to expire. For the next one to come in on its own, rather. The countdown to expire. There we go. So it says dash 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 now, and I'm actually looking at it. I imagine it said that when the ants were coming in. And the last pillbug comes in, the last woodlouse comes in, and the countdown starts. And if I were to okay, I sent in another one early, and I don't know if that's behaving correctly. Okay, let me try and dissect that. They're still coming in. Okay, now it's just gone haywire. Something's definitely wrong with the countdown system. Not sure what. Let me first make a commit. Don't show. Don't show that. And I think what's going on is the countdown is still ticking down even if there are active waves. So I think I should say only when does this happen? This is the only line in the whole code, as well as the start of the game, but this is the only line in the entire game where the wave countdown is set, but clearly it was doing that in a place where it wasn't supposed to be. I think what happened was I sent one in early. And it was still ticking down. So maybe I'll do sort of the opposite of what I was originally going to erroneously do. And that is send in wave. And set it to like -1 or something while there's a wave coming in. And that will prevent it from counting down. I think. Because it's negative and waves remain, and it shouldn't be counting down. Shouldn't be counting down would be the logic. Let me do that. If I send in the next one, if I send in two at once, these won't be long waves. I shouldn't have long to wait. As soon as the ants are finished and the woodlouse finished, and it's counted down again. Okay, so same thing here. I can wait for you. I'm just gonna build like all the magnifying glasses I can because those are fairly good at roasting stuff. Your health bars are suddenly not being rendered anymore. When did that happen? I don't think I made any changes to that. Anyway, we're going to wait for the next one. And I can just launch a couple early. Just for fun. I have enough money to build more magnifying glasses. I'm just gonna spend all my money on that, because I can. Yeah, where did the health bars go, though? That's weird. It's weird that they disappeared. And everything in the game is just streaming in. I think this is the last level of the gnats and the remaining aphids. And I should be able to, after that, wait for the aphids to run out, then I wait for the gnats to run out, and then the grasshoppers will be next. How many magnifying glasses can I have on the screen before bad things start to happen? Okay, and the countdown. Okay, so I think it's working now. I think I've tested every case that can be expected to happen, which is the waves coming in on their own, expiring on their own, being sent in early after the previous wave has expired, and being sent in early while the previous wave is still running. Okay. Alright, now I'm starting to feel like magnifying glasses are kind of overpowered. That's a problem for future me. I also want to have a waves remaining counter on here. Alright, let me commit this change as a bug fix with a single line of code, which is one. A wave countdown reset when a wave starts. Let me look at the number of waves remaining. So that would be, what would that be? That would be the size of the DSQ game.allWaves is greater than 0, or, actually, you know what? I won't say waves remaining. I will say, like, you are on wave 5 of 10 or 5 of 8 or whatever it happens to be. Okay, so all waves is going to be this. Wave total is going to equal DSQ size. Nope. DSQ size, all waves, wave current index. I don't want to just call it current because then I might forget what it is. It's going to be 0. And that's just going to tick up every time you send something in. Wave current is going to... You know what? Wait a minute. I can derive that. That can be derived. Wave text, I guess, is going to equal... string DSQ size game.all waves minus game.wave. What did I call it? Wave total. And then we can draw a slash, and it's kind of flowing off the screen, so let me move this way a little. So that's going to be the current wave of string game.wave total. And then it's a little unwieldy. Wave text. And that's going to be wave 0 of 8, 1 of 8, 2 of 8, and so on. Alright, it should tick up automatically, because it's really just deriving it from whatever. And if I were to send it in, nope, it's going the wrong way. Am I subtracting the wrong values? It looks like I'm subtracting the wrong values. This should be... Yeah, okay, these operands should be in the reverse order. Okay. I may say if there are no if we are on the first wave, if the queue is full, I may say to that's better. I can't build any of those. I may say to not enough money. I may just draw more dashes on the screen, the same way that I'm drawing dashes on the screen for when like there's still a wave coming in, but alright, whatever. That was a hard sentence to say. The other thing I want to do is, and we can see it counting up, when I send things in. The other thing I want to do is commit this. Wave counter. You know what, just because I'm sure what I just said is like horrendously confusing. Let me say if the queue is full, we can make the text say one thing. Otherwise, we can make this text say what it already does, and that's just going to be a little dash dash in front of the slash instead of a 0, because I think that's going to look a little better than saying a 0. All right, I'm fairly confident that's going to work because that's just editing the text that's on the screen. Wave count on the game UI. No, Control Shift something instead of Shift something is what that was. All right, so indeed wave dash of 8, wave dash, and then once I start sending stuff in, it's got a number. Okay, another thing is that really that's all the UI I want on this part of the screen now. So I can collapse this, and the last thing I want to do, and this should be fairly easy, is give you some extra money if you send something in early, as a bit of a risk-reward thing, because now it's really just risk. It's risk and like getting your impatience out and starting things earlier so you don't have to wait. somewhat you could sort of time it so that if you have towers that hit the same section of track twice, you could time the waves so that the waves aren't arriving at the same time, but that's pushing it a little. Send in wave. Right now, VK space. Wave countdown. I'll just give you like the amount of money back in wave countdown as a rounded down or rounded up or something like that. So if you send in wave, if that is greater than 0, player money plus equals floor. I said I would round it up just to be a little generous. Ceiling of wave countdown. Unless that would be confusing. I don't think that's going to be confusing though. I think that should be fine. Okay. And now I should get like 30 free money. Yeah, about that if I send things in early. I can keep... Oh no! Okay, so if I send them in early, it doesn't do that because obviously the countdown... No, if I send them in while there's still a wave entering the screen, it won't give you the money because countdown in that case would be -1. Alright, I will have to... I'll just separate this into 2 functions. That'll be the path to least resistance. Send in wave early. And I can basically send in wave, and then if player money is greater than 0, we'll do the same operation as before. And if it's negative, that will mean there's still a wave coming in if you're doing it early, and we'll just say player money plus equals wave countdown is the value, which is already an integer, which is like the maximum value you can get. All right, and then I just have to say when you VK space, instead of sending in wave, you have to specify send it in early and do the same thing in the button in the room. Like that. That should be good. Think we're in business. That's all I wanted to do in this video. I've been rolling for less than a half hour. The video is probably going to end up being like 25 minutes long, but I think that's all I wanted to do here. So I'm going to send in something. We got some money from that. I'm going to send in something early. That's 15, 15. If I wait for it to expire, I can just like spam the magnifying glasses so that I actually make it through this. Money. You are 8 seconds left, so if I hit space there, I got about 8 more. Okay, this is working. And then obviously, if I just wait for them to come in on their own, it shouldn't give me anything. All right, I see no reason why that shouldn't work, but just to make sure, let me run this down. All right, indeed, I got no money for that. Okay, I'm going to end this off here. This feels like progress. Get money for sending in waves early. This feels like progress. Next time, I'm thinking I'm going to add some upgrade options for towers because I've sort of had that feature, like I've made space for it in the game and made space for it on the UI and stuff a long time ago, and I haven't done anything with it yet. So I think next time I'm going to do tower upgrades. If you want the code for this, and I forgot to say this at the end of the last video, and also in the end of one of the other recent videos that I've recorded today. Link in the video description. Look for the GitHub repository. Look for the 0.33 release. I can create a tag there, 0.33. Otherwise, I try to post about 2 of these videos a week. One of these, let's make a tower defense games, and one make a one tutorial explaining how individual pieces of games get made. I have a Patreon, so if you want to contribute towards this all being made, there's links to that in all the usual places as well. I hope you all enjoyed that. If you have any suggestions for things that you want to see in the game, or anything like that, leave a comment and I'll do it eventually. I forget if I said this on video or not, but to the person who suggested something like a hand or a fly swatter tower, I'm probably going to do that. I do want to finish the rest of the game though, because I do want to have the experience of like adding adding stuff in an update later. After the main game is finished, I do want to try and see how that goes for me. But yeah, I will see you all later. Special thanks to Kiara Elizabeth, Connor, David Key, Edward Holt, Emily Koyo, Posho, Tusk, and Zenith for supporting these videos. If you want your name in the credits or to hear yourself shouted out at the end, head on over to the Patreon page down in the video description to join the fun.